going to go ahead and take a look at these questions and just kind of be clear on what it is that we're doing. So a couple things for IB. The term gradient always means slope, and we're going to use that notation in these notes. Now, what we want to know is when they say what is the correct relationship between P and Q. Again, I said this in class, but just to clarify, the answer to that is not like complicated or just friends. What they mean is they want a math equation, and here we're dealing with a line. So in my head, I go to y equals mx plus b as my go-to, but the problem is that's not going to be the answer because we're not doing algebra. They're trying to kind of review math in this problem, but we're not going to use this directly. So you notice they have a p-axis and a q-axis. So right away what that tells me is maybe I need to swap out some letters. Maybe y becomes p and x becomes q, right? We're told the slope is r, so I'll throw that in here. And then the intercept is this letter s right here. So p equals rq plus s should be my answer. And that's how I'm getting answer B. Okay. So the key. Notice that it's a line. Label the right letters. And then substitute where appropriate. Okay. Cool. So next question. We have some uncertainty. Now we're dealing with percent uncertainty, and I want to talk about it when we have percent uncertainty. So the way this works, the original formula is Q is AB over C, so delta Q is going to be delta Q over Q is going to be delta A over A plus delta B over B plus delta C over C. Okay. Now the deal with this is when they give us percents, so when they tell us the uncertainty in L is 2%. What that actually tells us is that delta L over L is 2%, and that delta T over T is 5%. So what this means is if I want the uncertainty in G, I'm looking for delta G over G, and that's going to be delta L over L plus, now this is T squared. Well, T squared is the same as T multiplied by T. So I'm just going to add those uncertainties together. And so what this is going to give me is 5. Sorry. So it's going to, whoa, that was a lot. So it's just, yeah. So this is going to give me, sorry, not 5. It's going to give me 2 for delta L over L, plus 5, and that's going to give me 12% uncertainty. Things to note. I actually don't care what L or T is. I don't need values. And that can throw people off on calculations like this. So the correct SI units for momentum in this next question. You know what? Let me show you how I would actually do this on the exam. I'm going to add one more little part here. Not that. I'm going to add one more little part here that I think will be helpful. Nope. All right, 15th try is a charm. There we go. This is what I wanted. I'm going to add one more little line. So what I would actually tell you is this. The formula for momentum is P equals M. Okay. And I would say where M is mass. Okay. That's what I would tell you on the exam. So what this means is I would expect you then to say, okay, the formula for momentum is P, which is mv, so I know m is mass, so I know the units for mass are kilograms. I know the units for v, velocity, are meters per second. And so the formula for the unit for momentum is going to be kilograms times meters times seconds to the -1. And that's how I come up with choice C. So please note, I would give you this for these problems. Okay. And then number 5, how does the speed vary? Well, let's talk about how velocity varies first. When I throw something up in the air, the velocity starts off being positive, then it stops, and then it speeds up going backwards. But I want to know how the speed varies, which is simply how fast, and don't care about direction. These two graphs here, C and D, they're tempting, but they're not right. These are position graphs. They're not right. So now, since we throw something upwards, its speed starts as positive, slows to 0, and then speeds up. Now, ordinarily, I'd say going backwards, but we're not interested in whether it's going backwards or forwards. We're interested in whether it's gaining or losing speed. So it's going to gain speed again, even though it's going backwards. So choice A is the answer. So that's questions 1 through 5. We'll take a look at 5 through 10 in the next exam.